We're at this level now where people and physicians are starting to accept that hormone therapy has a lot of benefits. It's a good thing. But there's still this caveat of only if you're less than 10 years from menopause or under the age of 60. And if you're older, then sorry, you'll die, basically. So that, all of that, the age thing comes from the WHI study again, Women's Health Initiative. They did multiple publications, looking at the data multiple different times, which is a normal thing with a study that big. One of those publications came out in 2013, and they looked at a whole bunch of different outcomes. And they looked at age brackets and the differences in outcomes based on age brackets. So they looked at women 50 to 59, 60 to 69, and 70 to 79. And what they found, this is where the whole age thing comes from.
Yes.
What they found was that for women 50 to 59, that there is a reduction in cardiovascular disease with hormone therapy compared to placebo. And for the other age brackets, there is no difference.
Okay.
For cardiovascular disease. Hormone therapy does not increase cardiovascular disease for 60 to 69 or 70 to 79.
No statistically significant difference.
There's no statistically significant difference, which means there's no difference.
No, take it, leave it.
Right. For all-cause mortality, so death from any cause, in the older age groups, there's no difference with hormone therapy compared to placebo. So hormone therapy did not increase all-cause mortality.
All right.
None of those outcomes, except for osteoporotic fractures, those were obviously decreased with hormone therapy in all age groups. But there was no outcome that hormone therapy showed a significant difference. But that's still the publication where they concluded women over the age of 60 should not get hormone therapy because it may not be safe. It's pretty mind-blowing.
So the conclusion is there's no difference in comorbidities, there's no difference in heart disease, increase or reduction. They did see some benefit in osteoporosis.
In fractures.
Right. So that's a benefit.
That's a benefit.
Which is huge because it usually is what kills people.
Right.
So there's no difference in comorbidities, but there is a difference in fractures.
Right.
Okay. Which ultimately kill people.
Right.
Okay.
But the recommendation is
don't use
it.
But there's no risks. There's no increased risks of anything.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we're using it in the 11,000 women who were not having symptoms.
Right.
But it's still, this is the conclusion that they're reaching because they don't want. I mean, I don't understand why we wouldn't.
There has been a lot of discussion in the menopause world of why did the WHI authors sort of force this issue for over the course of 20 years?
Is there some business interest or
well, who knows exactly, but in the academic world, your success is tied to your research and
the impact of your research.
And the impact. And so something that is, going to scare women and have this major impact, health impact nationwide is going to be a big deal in terms of your career as an academician. And then if you start that way, if you start off saying in 2002, hey, hormone therapy is bad, and that's what our study shows, then to go years later when you realize that wasn't a great conclusion, that the data didn't actually show that, it is very hard to then backtrack on that, what you said.
It was in the middle. We were wrong about young women, but for older women, it's still bad.
And what's also frustrating is that there were other studies ongoing at the time the WHI was happening. And because of the announcements from the WHI, they stopped
all the studies.
Yeah. Even though there was a large Danish study, I believe, that was showing really significant cardiovascular benefit. But they stopped it because of these findings from the WHI.
And heart disease is going to be the number one killer of women right now. And the other thing is that dementia, deaths are also increasing. And we know that with increased estrogen in your brain, you actually do better from a brain perspective as well, if I'm not mistaken.
I think that it's frustrating, again, like going back to that, we don't
there's no
have
data.
enough data.
Okay.
There's just not data to definitively say that it's protective.
But what we do know is that if we give, you know, if we do some hormone balancing in women in their 60s, their 70s, their 80s, their 90s, and beyond, we will see certain benefits like strengthening their bones. We will see increase in overall health, like sleep and sex and thickening of the pelvic floor. And
you see also a reduction in cholesterol.
a reduction in cholesterol. So like these are benefits.
And an improvement in insulin resistance.
Even if you've not been taking it for 10 years, postmenopausal, we are still going to see these benefits.